What makes a good character in a show? What makes a good show cast is another question. Is another important question. You can have a bunch of great, really well written characters, but if you put them all into a cast, it can end up if you put them all together, it can end up being a terrible cast. And why is that? We're going to be talking about. Today we're going to be talking about why you need to. Today we're going to be talking about what makes a good cast of characters. First step is to know. First thing is obviously you need good characters, otherwise the cast will be boring. The cast itself will be terrible if you don't have to. Okay, starting over. So the first thing you want to do is you want. Blah, blah, blah. So what makes a good cast? A bad cast automatically means what? Bad characters automatically mean a bad cast, but good characters don't automatically mean good cast. You can have amazing characters, but if you don't have enough variety in your characters, then you will have a huge problem. One thing I like to do is I like to give one character their own simplifying their own part. One thing I like to do is I like to just give each character their own unique personality trait that's specific to them. For example, in Object Uproar, Tape Spencer is sarcastic, and that's what she is going to be known for. The fact that she can be really sarcastic. Poker Chip, his Poker Chip is the only gambler. Macaron believes in the supernatural very strongly. These are just a few examples because these are just a few examples of how I just like because okay, I sound horrible, but that's okay. You want to make sure that your characters are all unique. Even if you want to have variety. And you don't want every single character to be nice. That's one huge problem. Is like they want people to like the characters, so they just make them all really nice. And that's a really easy way to screw up the cast, is if everyone is nice. I think even like rude characters can be. I think one way I like to deal with this is I have a couple of characters like 2 to 5 or no like 2 to 4 who are pretty rude, and I want one of them to just not care at all about anyone's feelings, and they're just a jerk all the time. But they are reasonable, and they aren't a bully, but like they're just a jerk. And so for the characters, I want I have one character who is just not really nice to almost anyone, but he has that one friend that he is nice to because he's the only person that really cares about them. And the way that he became friends with them is he actually made them cry and they felt bad. So you want to have like a variety even in the mean characters. You don't just want them all to just be really basic. You don't want them to be basic. And even your characters who are just supposed to be like bad, not bad, like mean and whatnot, they do have to have some, like they have to have a positive trait or two. Like for example, Sushi. Sushi is really egotistical and rude. She doesn't care about other people's feelings, and really, socially wise, she's just a bad person. And that's like where her negative parts come in, is her entire social part. However, she is really athletic. Like she is really fast and she can defend herself, even though she doesn't have any arms. But I guess that works. So basically, I explained how to have a good variety of characters. But if you need help, then if you need help deciding on on how to make a good character, then here are some tips I have. Try to think of, let's say you have like a show you watch, and the characters are all unique, and like they're all, like the characters, like let's say like, each character has like something that defines who they are. For example, like I'm just gonna like use My Little Pony as an example. Don't kill me. Um, let's like for example for Rainbow Dash, like what makes her is her flying skills, and for Rarity, her fashion sense. For Fluttershy, her ability to talk to animals, even like one. They each have their own unique character traits that is like just that's unique to the character themselves. You want to try to have each character in your show to try you want each character in your show to have that one unique thing about them. And even like if you like don't plan on making a show and you just want to make some OCs just for fun, then here's what I suggest. Then there are ways. Well, I suggest basically doing the same thing. Just watch a show of some sort and look at the cast of characters, and the bigger the cast the better. And if the show, especially if the show has like a huge variety, like MLP, then just you like watch this, like you like let's say like you understand the show. I'm like Soul Eater. Yeah, let's talk about Soul Eater. What makes let's say like Death the Kid from like Black Star. They're two really different characters, and like Death the Kid, he has extreme OCD, and he has like a huge symmetry problem. And with Black Star, he is an assassin, but not really. He wants to be one, but he's not really succeeding. And like Blair too. What makes Blair very different from everyone else is how she can transform into a cat. Although Blair is very well known for being the sexy character of the show and whatnot. That's another thing she's known for. So yeah, like we have, but like like let's just say like we don't count the fact like she can like transform into a cat, and just the fact that she's like the overly lustful and sexy female character that she is. Yeah, so we've got that. So we have like these three characters, like Black Star. What makes him unique from everyone else is how he wants is he's like the one who's attempting to be an assassin. Death the Kid has a symmetry problem, and Blair is lustful, incredibly lustful. So yeah, we've got that. So enough of me listing just what makes characters in whatever show unique. Let's talk about how you can use the knowledge of the fact that characters and shows are unique to help you write your own characters. What you want to do is, it's like I brought up earlier, like each character has their own unique thing about them. Like Macaron believes in the supernatural a lot, Poker Chip is a gambler, and Take Spencer is incredibly sarcastic. These are each things that no other characters possess. So I am trying to make, and that's something I want every character to have. There are, like, other than that, we take the character and we take what defines that character, a huge part of them. Each character should have their own unique trait to themselves, and if a couple of characters don't have them, like one or two, then that's alright, we'll let it slide. Sure, it'll make the cast a tiny bit less interesting, but it usually doesn't affect it too much. If there's like at least a dozen characters and like one's just not really as unique, then it's fine. Like it won't hurt anyone. Like you don't want to try to make that one character boring. You just don't know what else to do with it, and you just run out of ideas. And so it's okay. And after you've given each character its own character specific trait, you're gonna want to write down some traits that multiple characters should have. For example, a couple of characters could be shy, some could be huge social butterflies, a couple are clumsy, some are really intelligent. Let's say like got you see where I'm going with this. Another where you want to draw the line, you also want to know how friendly they are on it's not like one or the other, it's more of like a spectrum. Like for example, and you don't want one single character to be incredibly nice to everyone. Like they have to have their limits on it's a thing is that let's say anyone in the it's pretty much just it's kind of like metaphorically speaking, it's like anyone no matter their personality could be driven to murder, since that's kind of a theory, I guess, that some people have. I'm not entirely sure if I believe it or not. But that's the same applies to how kind you are. If like of course you want to be nice to people as often as you can, but sometimes you just can't help yourself and you just snap back. So you want yeah, I'm gonna use some characters that that some of you guys will probably know. So let's say a character who we've got like let's say the difference between Foley and Fanny from BFE. So Foley, like let's say take Foley, she's incredibly nice. Like to her friends, she's like really nice and sweet, and like she really cares about them. But like let's say like someone like Lai or like Ions, all the Ions now apparently, like all those like to those people, she just really hates and she holds grudges. But with Fanny, Fanny has a grudge against almost everyone, except for like one or two, except for Bubble, and I'm not sure if there are any other. There's an obvious difference between two characters, and they don't fall onto 100% one end of the spectrum. Goldie is mostly nice, but she's not 100% nice to people all the time. And Fanny is generally not too nice, but she isn't like 100% mean all the time. She's nice to people that she does care about. But that just happens to be so few people. So you want to place that character on the spectrum. So you want to take a character and put it on the spectrum. Which seems like it's really simple to do, but really it's really not the easiest thing to come up with. Like you don't want what no that I know that's like one of the easiest things to come up with. What am I saying? But like alongside the spectrum, you don't just want she is 75% nice. No. What you want to do is you want to like be more specific, like poker chip. He is generally doesn't seem to care about people's feelings, but if someone is hurt, he will like if one of his like good friends, like someone he cares about is hurt, then he will gladly try to help. He seems like he just doesn't care, but he's actually really does. So like I'm not entirely sure what he does tend to have an attitude sometimes, but tries to use it too much. Well, I've said pretty much all I can think of. Just well, quickly we'll wrap it up. Make your characters good, like give them like their own unique trait, and then take them and then write some other traits down, and then say like nice they are, like just like how like they're smart, like are they an indoor or outdoor person, just and then just like get the basic facts down. Well, that's pretty much it. All I gotta say. It's pretty short, but yeah, there we go. See you.